Hi everybody. I just wanted to record a short video about last week's winter rescue plan as announced by the Chancellor. There are 5 things that I found of interest and relevant in this. The first of these is the job support scheme. As we know, the current scheme ends at the end of October, and the new job support scheme will start on the 1st of November. This scheme is significantly less generous and it's going to cost the employers a lot more. The way the scheme works is employees have to have been on the payroll before the 23rd of September, so there'll have to have been an RTI submitted with them in it. They'll need to be included, have been included in an RTI before the 23rd of September. So there'll be more employees who will be eligible for it, because we don't have to go back to those that were on the payroll in the March period. To qualify for the job support, the employee must work for at least a third of their normal hours and presumably be paid at their normal rate. Of the 2/3 of the resting hours, with a maximum of 2/3 the rest of the government will pay 1/3, and the employer has to pick up the tab for the other 1/3, plus the employer's NIC and pension contributions. So that what this means is, if somebody would normally be working a 30-hour week, then they have to work a minimum of 10 hours. The employer pays for a third of their 20 resting hours, so that's 6 2/3 of an hour, and the government pay for 6 2/3 of an hour. So the employee gets paid for 23 hours. The employer pays for 16 2/3, and the government pay for 6 2/3. So there's a significant cost there borne by the employer to keep that employee in the scheme. The government's contribution is capped at 22%, or just under £700 a month, which works out about £160 a week. There's no restrictions for small and medium-sized businesses who want to use the job support scheme. However, large employees will be subject to restrictions. They'll not be able to take dividends, and they'll have to be able to show that they have been severely adversely impacted by COVID. This doesn't stop. Using the scheme doesn't remove your entitlement to the job retention bonus for those that qualify. Second thing that's relevant, I found of interest, was the self-employed income support scheme. Grants are going to be the second grant, which deadline closes for this on the 19th of October. There's going to be a third and a fourth grant. The third grant will be 20%, so it'll be a quarter the size of the first grant, because the first grant was 80%. We don't know very much about the fourth grant, except that it's going to cover the period February to April 21. There have been changes made. The third issue was changes made to the bounce back loan. And for those that have taken out bounce back loans, the repayment period will be extended from 6 to 10 years. There will be the option of a 6-month interest only payments, and if people that are struggling will be able to ask for a 6-month holiday. The deadline for applications is extended to the end of November, and the 31st of December is the deadline for approvals. The fourth thing that was announced by the Chancellor was to do with the deferrals of income tax payment on account in July and the VAT payments that were due between March and June past. So if you have deferred your income tax, that would from July to January 21, you can now further extend that payment on account from January 21 over 12 monthly installments to January 22. So if the tax due is less than 30,000, the online application will go through automatically. If it's more than 30,000 or you need longer time to pay, you need to speak to somebody in the revenue and make arrangements for that. The VAT that should have been paid in between 20th of March and the 30th of June, if you have deferred that, then that was automatically deferred to the 31st of March 21. And businesses that took advantage of that will now be able to spread the deferred VAT over 11 equal installments payable between April 21 and March 22. And again, the application for this has to be done online. And the final thing is the reduced rate of VAT for the hospitality industry and tourism sector. It was due to go back to the 20% on the 13th of January 21, and that has been deferred until the 31st of March 21. So that was the package of support announced in the Winter Rescue Plan. There's a lot of detail in it, and if anybody wants to know any more, please give us a call. Thank you very much.